Welcome to Rock Your Talk. I'm Leisa Reid, founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now, trainer at Productive Learning. I'm here with Michael Wida from Augmentus Inc. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad you're on our show. And before we get started, I'll share a little bit about what I'm giving out into the world. At Get Speaking Gigs Now, I help speakers learn how to get booked, stay booked, and attract their clients through speaking. It's all kinds of fun and games over at Get Speaking Gigs Now. We have a lot of fun and we get stuff done to help you get your message out there to more people. At Productive Learning, I have the honor of being a trainer and speaker for them as well. And we are developing some amazing work for people to stay engaged with their own growth, their own mindset. How do you stay healthy during this whole pandemic, just in life in general? How do you use your thinking to really get more of what you want? And I wanted to announce, actually for the first time on the show today, I want to announce where you can get engaged with that and pick up a free gift. It's called New Thinking for New Actions, very powerful class. And you can get that at productivelearning.com/gift. So if you are wondering, maybe you're having some anxiety or you're just a little worried about what's going on or what's your next move. People talk a lot about pivoting and changing. Go to productivelearning.com/gift. Engage in that class, New Thinking for New Actions. That's my gift to you as our listeners. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you come up with. It's a very exciting time. So now back to Michael, the star of our show today. Michael, tell us a little bit about you. I know you're going to talk today about some LLCs and corporations, which is your wheelhouse. And you have a lot of other things that you're experts at, but tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a business consultant. I've bought and sold more than a dozen businesses and partnered with a lot of different people in all different kinds of industries. But my specialty is forming corporations and LLCs for small businesses and helping clients understand which type of entity they need between the SCORP, the CCORP, and the LLC. So we really hold their hand during that process and make them feel comfortable about the decision they made for their business.
Appreciative of someone like you, because it sounds like as a business owner, it sounds like something really simple, like, oh, I just need to go get an LLC or get it because someone at somewhere told you to do it, right? Well, you're paying too much on your taxes. You need to get a corporation. You're like, okay, where do I get one? Where do I get one? You know? And then when you get into it, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Which one am I supposed to pick out? Which box am I supposed to fill out? And because you only do it once, ideally, right? Maybe or a couple times. So to have someone who's like, well, let's look at your business. Let's look at all these things. And this one makes the most sense. And you got to weigh this option and that option. So
there's a lot of layers, definitely.
And I've seen you speak before, and I always learn something every time I see you speak. So I know you had some tips for us. Hit us with your first tip. What you got?
Okay. Yeah. Tip number one, the question I always get is, what's the best state to incorporate in?
Yeah.
And, a lot of ones that you've heard, Nevada, Delaware, are not such good states always. Nevada used to be a good one because there's no state income tax on corporations. But the problem is they got smart. A lot of Californians were moving their corporations there. And now, you got to pay $500 for the state business license. If you have a corporation or LLC, you've got to pay $150 for the list of officers every year. So it pretty much matches up with that California $800 minimum tax. So Nevada's not really on that list anymore, unless you're, really generating some serious revenue. And Delaware is also good for incorporation because they really have up-to-date corporate law. And they are constantly updating it and keeping it modern. But the problem is that you have to pay a franchise tax, and it's based on your revenue. So if you make a lot of revenue, it's based on a percentage of that. And you can end up paying a lot of money towards them. So I don't recommend them unless you're in a specific situation. Right now, my favorite state to incorporate in is Wyoming because there's no state tax there, no corporate tax, and the fees are very low. It's about $60 each year to maintain that corporation.
Wow.
But like
good tip, folks.
Yeah. But like everything, there's a catch. We live in California, and California wants our money. Yeah. So technically, if you only do business in California and you go over to Wyoming or Nevada to avoid the California tax, what happens if California finds out and they actually pay people to look for corporations that are doing this?
Oh, wow.
They will come after you. And the legal way to do it is you actually have to qualify as a foreign corporation in California. And that means that you have to pay the $800 anyway, plus the state tax in California, and now you're paying all that in California plus the fees in the other state. So
Might as well just stick it in California, which is
that's
where
right.
mine is.
If you're a California business, then just do it California so you don't have to get double hit by those fees. You can get away with it if you're operating in multiple states or you have some sort of an online business, but be careful because, like I said, they'll come after you. But
Wow.
California is the best if you're in California. If you're doing multi-state, Wyoming is the next best.
Wonderful. And what's your second tip? I know you've got a couple other things.
The second tip is really getting your corporation to pay for your life. There's a lot of expenses. People ask me this before, many times before. You know, what's legal to write off on your taxes for your corporation, make it a business expense. And I'm not going to get into the details. I'll just give you a couple examples. Obviously, your cell phone is one you can move over there. There's some creative ways to actually legally get a portion of your mortgage paid by your corporation. Medical expenses, car expenses, including gas, travel, including flight, hotels, and even tours in some cases. Gifts and even retirement funding can be paid for by your corporation, which means all these things that you're already paying for anyway now become a business deduction legally. There's a legal way you can do that.
Yeah, and this is where it's really good to work with someone like you, Michael, because that's so individual and custom to, depending on the person. But you can say, this is a yes, this is a no. You know, obviously double check with your accountant and things like that, or your CPA. But here's what we can set up. But even getting that set up is nice to just have that expert. Well, I mean, you want to have that expert opinion. You don't want to just be like, well, I'm just going to go on a shopping spree and put it all under my corporation. You're like, well, hold on a second. So really,
I see that all the time.
Yeah, really to have that expert to go like, no, this is what you can do, and this percentage, and this is how, and we want to make sure it's all the ducks are in the row so that you don't put yourself at risk or your business at risk. So important to know. What's your third tip?
Third tip is protecting your retirement from lawsuits on the personal side. A lot of people get a corporation to protect themselves on the business side, but you can have your corporation set up a solo 401k. And there's two things that are great about that is that IRAs, the state of California allows people to take your IRAs in a lawsuit. And the law is written that within reason, they can take your IRA. So they won't clean you out, but they'll leave you some. 401ks, there's a federal law that says that people can't touch them in a lawsuit. So you're protecting yourself. If you get in a car accident on the personal side, they can't come take your 401k. But regular IRAs and retirement accounts, traditional and Roth, they only allow you to put in $6,000 a year. If you set up a 401k, a solo 401k through your corporation, you can increase that by $19,500 that you can put away each year. And your corporation can match that up to 25%. So right there, you get to get 25% of that $19,500. That becomes a business expense that you get put into your retirement, and you don't get taxed on that. Obviously, you want to speak to your accountant about that to figure out the individual rules and how that applies to you. But a great way to protect your retirement money and create a really good tax write-off and have your business fund a piece of your retirement.
I think this is where it makes so much sense to have someone like you and your CPA in tandem, like working with your situation, so that you and this is me, like the person who doesn't want to check the wrong box. I'm like, which box am I supposed to check? Or can you check the box and make sure that this is what we decided on in the plan? Because it can get really confusing, all those forms, if you're not used to filling that out. And you want to make the right choice of where your money, and your financial planner would be like that third trifecta person to where we're all on the same team.
And I translate CPA to English so that people can understand it.
Good. You could add that to your LinkedIn profile. How many years did you speak, right? Where would people get a hold of you?
So they can go to my website. It's Augmentus Inc., the word augment with US, Inc.com, or they can call me on my cell or send me a text at 714-473-5413. Again, 714-473-5413.
And the Augmentus is AUGMENTUS, Inc., INC.com, right?
Yes, very good.
Yeah. Okay, good. See, I know how to spell Augmentus.
Good.
All right, cool. Yay. I have one bonus question for you, Michael. So this show is called Rock Your Talk. So I got to ask, what's one of your top bands, rock bands or rock singers? What's one of your favorites?
You know what? I'm a big fan of classic rock, but I was a grunge baby, so Pearl Jam is one of my favorites. I love Eddie
Me
Vedder.
too. Me too. Eddie Vedder's one of my boyfriends. My husband already knows all
Yeah,
about it. So Eddie, if you're listening, just, you know how to get a hold of me. Any of
there it
these
is.
places you can find me.
Good question,
Very
though. I love that.
cool. Yeah, I love Pearl Jam there, and I love Eddie Vedder.
Yeah,
It's
they're awesome.
official.
Need to play
I've
live
said
a
it.
lot of times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's great. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing all your tips about LLCs, corporations, and if you're confused about which one to pick and how and which one's going to suit your business, and you're ready to get your all your business together in terms of like, how do I make sure I'm paying the right amount of taxes and keeping the right amount of money and getting everything protected, then you're going to want to look up Michael Wida at augmentusinc.com. All right. Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Got it.
I always forget to ask you that. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.